Hi, welcome to the Second Opinion. My name is Rishan. This is episode 2. Today we have
Stranger.
And I'm Christina.
I'm CK. I'm Blueberry.
Hi Blueberry. Today's topic will be about freedom of speech. I guess to me, free speech is just being able to express yourself without being, censored like certain countries going on right now. Just being able to be who you are without self-consciously having to suppress certain opinions, certain feelings.
At least for me, I draw the line at harassment or slander. So anything apart from that, even criticizing ideologies, is fine with me.
You draw the limit at harassment or slander.
Yes, most countries do that. Even in the United States, Japan, France, these are countries all that have the most free speech compared to the rest of the world. This is where they draw the line usually.
So by drawing the line, you mean punishment after the line, right?
Yes.
Have you guys heard of Amos Yee?
Yes.
You know Amos Yee?
Yes.
Alright, so Amos Yee is this legit kid, I think he's our age now, from Singapore. So basically, Amos was a local from Singapore who used to be very upfront about his opinions on the government, on Islam religion, any religion for that fact, and just anything, he's always against it. But he was really smart. He was a really smart guy, so he always had good justifications for stuff like that. But Singapore didn't like that. His house has been raided a few times, then he got sent to jail, I think twice.
He's a refugee in the United States.
Yeah, he ran off there now. The United States loves him, by the way. He had an interview on Burberry or something like that. One of the interview websites, they love him. Singapore does not. But I realized, I was watching a few of his videos. I always watch his videos. The comments are never negative. It's always people supporting him, but it's always the youngsters in our age group. They are the ones who are supporting his ideas or the fact that he's brave enough to put things out there. And I'm beginning to think maybe freedom of speech the meaning is being distributed between the age groups.
I think having a conservative opinion is unpopular right now at this point of time. Having any kind of conservative opinion. So I think liberals are the ones who are deciding what is free speech, in my opinion. They sway what it is. Having quite a conservative opinion of saying that some kind of change is not right is looked down upon, because I think most of the younger generation are using on websites and social media or whatever. It's easier for people like the one you mentioned for them to get outreach or get popularity, because the younger generation will agree with them. Because the younger generation I feel is quite liberal. Mm-hmm. While the older generation has a conservative view, I think that's looked down upon if you put it on social media or anywhere.
But it's not their fault for being conservative. I think we can agree on that, right?
Nowadays, social media is more advanced. So we, no matter it's youngster or those who already, they'll use social media as their platform to just say whatever they want. Some, they don't care about others. Because of social media, you can use anomalies.
Okay, but you know how, I often see on Twitter how people, use freedom of speech there on social media platforms, as Sikit said. There's always fights because how people are always so sensitive about really tiny things. Yeah, insignificant things. So, I don't know about that.
Anyone here has had an experience on having their opinions oppressed or rejected and you feel unfairly treated?
That's why I don't really raise my opinions on social media, because of the harassment that I might get.
I think it's important to realize that this is a famous quote. I'm not sure who said it, but you don't truly believe in free speech unless you're willing to defend the right of free speech of the person that you hate. So you have to understand that even though it doesn't matter that you're offended by something, as long as you're not getting physically harmed or personally targeted, it shouldn't be a problem if someone has a differing opinion to yours, even if it is offensive. Because that's how you have proper dialogues with people. If you're having easy conversations, then you're not really talking about something that's truly important.
So I guess we can agree that freedom of speech, we're all for it, but there should be that line where things like harassment, derogatory comments, and just pointless bullying should not be considered freedom of speech. It should just be considered what that is, bullying.
Yeah, agree.
But at the same time, it all comes down to perspective. Because, like myself, I don't care what anyone says to me. You can call me anything. You can tell my mom anything you want, and I wouldn't feel, because I know it's not going to happen, right? It's just words, words can hurt me. But at the same time, some people do get affected by it, When it comes to figuring out the limit for each person, like how far you can go talking to them, indirectly, your freedom of speech is being limited. So I think that no matter how hard we try to say that, one day we will have a world where everyone won't be offended by everything. I mean, it's never going to happen. But I think what we can do is
have an open mind.
Yes, have an open mind.
As we go towards an era where freedom of speech is being normalized, it's important to, have an open mind and be acceptable on people's opinions about everything.
Yeah.
But like, what was the limit? Like, for example, in America there was a Charlottesville rally. Okay, so it was all the right wing. So basically, fascists, anti-Semites, people who were for Blue Lives Matter. Do you guys know what that is?
Yeah.
Yes.
So they gathered together and had a rally, and then like the president was told to justify or give an explanation on why this happened. Do you think that's something right, or like having a view like that, and the president has to justify? While you can have like a more liberal rally, maybe a different kind of rally, and then the president doesn't have to justify that. Do you think it's wrong? It's some kind of skewed version of freedom of speech.
I think president have to take care of the speech that the people use, because nowadays I think that people are sensitive to what others judge about them, what others say to them. So if presidents they can have a control on this, there will be less fighting in his country, so will bring peace to the country.
By controlling, you mean?
I don't know, maybe set a rule or regulation. Maybe on social media they can only use nice words. If they use harsh words, right, then they have to take down or...
Yeah, because you see, like, the freedom of speech, right? Everyone just seems to think like, oh, freedom of speech, you can say whatever you want. But you can say stuff without swearing and making it vicious and aggressive, right? You can say your opinion in a very calm, civilized manner. You don't have to swear. I mean, I swear, but I do it for fun. I don't do it to harm the other person, to make them feel belittled or whatever. So sometimes whenever I had debates and we talk about freedom of speech, and then they talk about like censoring certain words, certain derogatory words, we shouldn't be doing that because that's not freedom of speech. I'm like, no, that's just being reasonable. Like, you're trying to have a respectful conversation with an open mind. All these pointless swearing and belittling and degrading comments and whatever, yeah, those, I believe, don't fall under freedom of speech. It just falls under pettiness and immaturity.
I think we're sort of veering away from Srin Joy's question because he was...
The president thing.
Not so much the president thing, but
Liberal
people
and
with
conservative.
controversial opinions. I think it's, even if it's fascist or people who are like really far on the extreme spectrum, I think that they should be able to express their opinions. You have to be allowed to be wrong in order for people to correct you, in order to have a dialogue with people and understand, like, get to the truth of the matter. So yes, you should be polite, but just because you're polite, that doesn't mean that people aren't going to get offended.
People can probably get offended by anything.
Yeah,
to be
and
honest, yeah.
and I don't think like the government should be the legislator of
That's what
how
I'm saying.
nice you are to someone.
Yeah, because I have a good experience. I mean, yeah, it wasn't a racist joke. It was just like a sensitive joke. But honestly, it shouldn't have offended anyone because of the context. So the story was, I was on a bus with my friends, and it was, the time was 9:11 p.m. Then you can see where this is going. So basically, we were in the bus, and then we looked at the clock, and then my friend was like, "Oh, it's 9:11. It's time to party." You know, it was just a joke. And then this lady in front of us turned around. She was, I think, from Europe or something, and she got really mad. I was like, "Oh, how can you shouldn't be saying stuff like this, man. People die, yada yada." But then I was like, and it's just like, it's really racist to people of like Islamic religion, whatever, who weren't part of it. And I was like, dude, my friend who said it is Islam. He's the one who made the joke. It wasn't me.
Yeah, the thing is, people nowadays, I think they have this thing, they'll take offense on basis of other people.
Yeah,
That's way too much.
it's like what you said.
yeah.
I'm offended for my friend over
For my
here who's
friend
keeping
over
quiet
here,
about
yeah.
it. Yeah, that's just pointless. Like,
But do you guys agree that even if someone is on the far right, they can express their opinion?
yeah.
Yeah, but then why is the president being asked for it?
We're not the one asking him.
No, but I'm saying,
I mean-
but if you have like a liberal rally, the president is not going to get not as many questions. But I think if someone has like, basically the super racist people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so is it fair for them to have their opinion? Is that what I'm saying?
Super racist.
Yeah, because they are all Blue Lives Matter. So Blue Lives Matter basically means that
They're opposing Black Lives.
yeah, so they think that the cops are right and the cops don't commit brutality based on race. That's what they mean.
Okay, well, if you want to focus on like, for the fascist rally and for the liberal rally, whether the president should be justifying anything or whatever. I mean, if you're going to focus on this, like the population, right? The general population, the general consensus is they're mostly liberals, right? The fascists is a very small pocket. So when the liberals do a rally, it's supported by a large number of people. So the small group that has a problem with it isn't going to be heard. So yes, I believe that either way the president should say something, because the president is the man of the people, right? People voted for him. He should be there to justify everyone's actions. But the reason why he's only doing it for the other side is because they're the minority. And when the minority does something, the majority will rebel. They'll go against it. And, the president wants to keep the entire country happy, right? And he has to keep the majority happy because that's where most of the votes come from. This is very political. But yeah, to answer the question, that's the reason why he does it. Because the majority don't like it and he's trying to appease
the
them.
majority is right wing. That's why Trump won.
Well, there'll be a podcast for another day.
Extremist is a different.
Being extremist is different.
It's a whole new level on how he won in the first place.
Rashid.
But back to the freedom of speech thing, let's talk about uni. Not just like how we're studying in uni, like with our friends. How do you think we should go about it when we are conversing with others?
Okay, I once had a meet up with my friends and we decided it was boring and we had nothing to do. We were at a cafe or something. So we decided to take a topic and talk freely about it, discuss about it freely on our opinions about that certain topic. And I think that's a very healthy conversation because, rather than playing games or cards or just on your phone, you talk about it with your friends, conversing it.
Intellectual conversation.
Yeah, intellectual conversation, as you can see.
Without fighting.
Yes, and I think that's one way to promote freedom of speech among your friends.
Yeah. But before we talk, right, we have to think twice first whether our words will hurt others or not.
True. But, that's just being nice, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to hurt your friend's feelings. Going on her, think before you talk kind of thing. I think we can all agree that we know the group of friends we have that are pretty chill with what we say. But then there's the group where
You have to be a little...
we take a step back. We're like, okay, you're not going to see this side of me just yet. Right? Yeah. So, you see, that's a decision that we voluntarily make, right? Because we like these people and we understand that there's a part of us that they don't like and we accept it. So we make our own decision. Like, I'm going to be nice with you, man. I'm going to show you this side of me. So that, I think, shouldn't fall under the free speech category, like, being able to express yourself in your own way because this is your own personal decision. But if you have a friend that doesn't like how you are entirely, but you want him to be your friend, and then you complain to others like, wow, I'm not allowed to be who I am because of this person, then it's just your fault, right? Because you're trying to change yourself, be likable to someone else.
So what, we shouldn't be friends with that person? Or...
Don't change yourself too much.
Oh, hell,
Don't
just
be plastic. Don't be plastic.
I think being able to be friends with someone who has a different opinion to you, even if it offends you, is a hallmark of maturity.
I think we shouldn't change our personality because we want others to like us. Last time, right, I saw this video. It's like how you want to choose your friends. Maybe there are two groups of friends. One is like they are good people and the other is bad people. So you have to make friends, right? I think you don't need to change your personality. You just have to be who you are. Those who like you will be friends with you, and they are the one who really like your personality. So I don't think you need to change your personality to make the bad people to like you. And also this, right, after you doing this, you are actually making more rooms for those who want to make friends. You want to be your real friends.
But what if the good person, that the good people I talk about, mostly shares like the same point of view with you? It's like you're not expanding your horizon.
Exactly.
After a while, you hang out with that one clique and that's it because you feel like, oh, that's the only group I can hang out with.
But you won't get to know any other opinions.
Yeah, that's true. But is that a personal choice or is you're just subconsciously doing it?
I think it'll be subconscious, right? Because if you are having like disagreements with someone again and again and again, maybe you won't want to hang out.
Yeah, you just want to avoid them, right? Yeah. But I love arguing.
Yeah, I love arguing.
So in my case, I'm friends with everyone because then I can argue with everyone.
Yeah.
So different people work different ways.
Yeah, so that's the problem. At the end of the day, everyone has their own opinion.
About this came to friendship.
Do you guys watch Arvind Kumar?
Yes.
Yeah, hi Arvind. Yeah, it's this YouTuber from Malaysia. He recently had a issue on
Rosma, right?
Yeah, that was one, and then there was also the other one where on National Day he photoshopped himself next to Tunku Abdul Rahman while he was doing the signing for our independence, and it was like my bro Rahman and I getting National Day for all of y'all, and people were mad. But they were mad because he said my bro Rahman instead of saying Tunku Abdul Rahman.
What is that?
Okay, so Abdul Rahman's our first Prime Minister. He's the reason we have National Day on the 31st of August. We are independent. So he did at Photoshop, next to him, and he referred to him by his name, Abdul. Was it Abdul? Yeah, Rahman. He just referred him to Rahman. And people were mad because they were like, oh, you should, respect him and put his full name. So he did. He edited it and he put his name. And then they were like, oh, you weren't even there in the first place. Whoever's face you Photoshop to put your own in, you should respect him as well. In the end, he was like, you know what? I'm just going to delete this. Yeah, but he wasn't mad about it. He said he expected some backlash. He just didn't expect this much. He was like, Nisha, I'm disappointed in you.
At least it's not like, if I tell you about the Indian situation.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so what happens if you express any kind of opinion against the current ruling party? There's literally like troll bot farms that will message you constantly. You'll get rape threats, death threats. Especially for women, to express opinions against the ruling party is not safe at all. And I feel that that's where I draw the line for free speech. Rape threats or giving someone a death threat. There's people who have actually died after expressing opinions on social media from mysterious causes.
Yeah, especially like those journalists.
Yeah, the journalists.
Who go to countries to try and gain information and then they just mysteriously disappear.
Seriously, are threats freedom of speech?
No, but it makes you feel scared, right? If you get like 75 emails a day.
No, but exactly. People get like rape threats constantly, especially on like Indian Twitter and stuff. There'll be people with the ruling party's sign.
Yeah.
So basically they are paid bots by the ruling party. Okay? And then they are getting literally, it's called troll farms again.
Okay.
So basically they get paid this much amount to put this much. So basically it's like they have complete control of social media.
The ruling party.
Yeah, kind of. So basically they can make anything trend on Twitter. They can make anything happen according to what they want. So they can distract people from the real issues.
Mm-hmm.
They have this like hierarchy. It's called like shepherds, sheepdog, and sheep. Shepherds are like the actual famous people who they pay to make this tweet.
So it's like
It's
they just control. Yeah. So
and the lowest
ruling
level
party.
is just bots.
Okay, so the ruling party basically controls social media to make sure that people don't go against them and whatever. Yeah, so that this is also a very common thing that like the ruling parties don't ever political. Mostly it's political stuff, right? They try and do they try and control stuff like that. So before we end our podcast for today, just before, I just wanted to ask each of you, what would your plan be or your idea be on how we could get much more wider scope for freedom of speech? Like how can we make it a better place for everyone?
My opinion remains the same as what I stated when we started the podcast, which is I think people should be able to criticize anything as long as you're not personally attacking someone.
Yeah, I think for freedom of speech, everyone have their rights to express their opinion, their idea and every stuff. But before you want to express your ideas, you have to think twice whether it will hurt others or not. If it will hurt others, better just keep quiet will do.
So I feel impossible if we express, very big, heavy opinion without people hurting. You're always gonna hurt someone. Someone's always gonna be offended, but I feel like you should really be able to express your opinions on every platform as long as you're considerate. Yeah, please. I'd really like to promote free speech with everyone. Just voice out your opinion because it's a really healthy discourse among others. Yeah.
Okay.
Just, you can say whatever you want. Don't threaten people. That's not good for anyone. Threaten someone and just that's about it. You can express any opinion. You can have like the super right wing, you can have the super left wing opinion. That's fine. Just don't threaten.
Right. Well, for me, in the past, my life was really simple. I treat everyone the way I want to be treated. Then, later on, through experience and through like my own personal reflection or whatever, like I realized not everyone is me. Very few people are. Like all of us have our own different thoughts and opinions, and I shouldn't be forcing that on everyone else. So while I don't feel offended by anything people say, I do realize that sometimes there is a line that I shouldn't cross. And it differs from each person. So while freedom of speech is great, I like to keep people happy. So I have my own ways.
There's a balance.
Yeah, there's a balance,
Self-censorship.
like for each person, But it's good, like this talk right now, I think a few of us have different opinions on what we think freedom of speech is. And we were all free to say what we wanted to.
Yeah.
No one got mad. We civilized conversation. Like what we said just now is an intelligent conversation, right?
I think we need to know the beauty of language for every of us.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Any hot takes?
Just putting like the most recent thing, the Hong Kong and China situation. The freedom of speech there, it's like insane. We could go on for like 3 hours on that.
Also Kashmir.
There's that as well. Quick thing, you guys know Zed? It's a famous DJ.
He got banned, right? Yeah.
There's this show called South Park that's quite, they like to talk about sensitive topics, but it's all jokes, right? And it's really funny jokes. Zed liked a tweet by South Park about the Chinese government in China and their censorship. I don't know how they found out, but they did. Yeah. And Zed isn't allowed to go to China anymore. Which, it won't affect him as much. But China used to be one of the places he toured the most. He had like a big following there. And just one like, instant ban.
No, but Zed is still higher level. Imagine Winnie the Pooh.
Oh yeah, that's the Winnie the Pooh thing.
Yeah.
Alright, so is he a prime minister or president? The president of
Supreme
China.
leader.
Yeah, the supreme leader of China. He looks like Winnie the Pooh if you put them together. So there was a meme online about it, and he didn't like it.
And Winnie the Pooh is
There's
banned.
no more Winnie the Pooh in
is banned
China. So
Yeah.
there's the Disneyland in Shanghai, right?
Yeah.
There's no Winnie the
Hong
Pooh
Kong.
there. Was it Hong Kong or China?
Hong
I
Kong.
can't remember.
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. Then there might
And
be a
they
Winnie
don't
the Pooh
get- then
there.
they don't
I don't
get-
think they get a
yeah.
Winnie the Pooh there
Oh.
because of this. And
Also the Blizzard thing, right?
yeah, so like there's like stuff in the
Yeah.
gaming community that's really serious as well. So
But about Zed, do you think he was in the wrong?
no,
No more liking?
it was
You
just
can
a
like
tweet.
it's a tweet.
But he's
It
a
was
celebrity.
So
Yeah,
I mean, doesn't he have free speech if you're a celebrity?
Yeah,
Like, you
exactly.
have your own opinion.
But, I don't know.
Yeah, there's always the things that people say that the actors, they have to control what they say. Celebrities have to make sure they don't
Yeah.
go over the limit because people are watching them.
Yeah.
What's his name? The YouTuber PewDiePie,
Yeah.
right? Number one YouTuber and all that. He's also banned in China, by the
Yeah,
way.
now
If you
he
go
does
to the
that.
Chinese websites and you type his name on, nothing
I mean, there's
shows
no
up.
Chinese YouTube and stuff, right? It's
Yeah,
YouTube
like
are
China
also
doesn't even have
banned,
YouTube in the first place, but you can't
Yeah.
even Google his name anymore. And you know why? There was a funny
Hong
joke
Kong, yeah.
about China and Hong Kong,
Yeah.
and he just saw it on a YouTube video and he went, haha,
Yeah.
yeah, gone. PewDiePie's
His career in
cancelled.
China is
It's
gone.
gone.
Yeah.
Instantaneous. But he did say he was expecting it. He said like after we uploaded the video, I was like, something's gonna happen, and it did. He's gone. Like think about social media in China as well. Like you can't use YouTube, Facebook.
Yeah.
I have friends in China right now. Not going to name drop, but they have their ways. But they said it's really difficult. It's really difficult to use it there because it's technically illegal. This is just China alone because this is like a hot topic right now. But this happens everywhere. Right, it's just a
Yeah.
matter of time before it explodes
No, it's
and
not.
people realize, like, wait a minute, that's a problem.
Even countries that say that they're like liberal,
Yeah,
there's stuff like this happening.
you know, sure.
Now India, there's people who get arrested for making cartoons and politicians.
Yeah,
That's
they-
happened here too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it has
Yeah.
happened here, right? So we can't stop it, but we can work hard, spread some love.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So I think we are done for today.
Alright.
I think we've all expressed ourselves freely and intelligently. So this has been the second opinion, second episode. Thank you.
Thank you.